So Natalie Esquire, number one Caitlin Clark hater, inadvertently admits that Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so with the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover every Monday from 6 to 7 during our live show, which is 6 to 8:30. That's except for major holidays, and it's Eastern time. And it's like a sports reporters type show. I have 3 other podcasters that are Caitlin Clark supporters, basically. And it's a great show. So check it out. It's our second show coming up. It's Monday, every Monday. Cheryl Swoops and Natalie Esquire are like the 2 biggest haters. I call her Princess Natalie Esquire and Cheryl Swoops Queen Cheryl Swoops. Just because Cheryl Swoops is older. Just so I call her Queen Princess. That's what I call her. That's my new name from as last Monday.
Yes.
So she always supported A'ja Wilson as the face of the league. So she made a really interesting comment. I always struggle to even give her any attention because people say, well, she's not worth covering. But sometimes I cave in and it's worth discovering because the discussion is good. Here's what she said. So tired of these face of the NBA convos. It's not a job that can be applied for. And the media can't just designate someone as face. It's organic. Which is what we've been saying about Caitlin Clark for, a year now. Yeah. Caitlin Clark, let's be honest about this. Caitlin Clark, whether anyone wants to accept it or not, she was the face of the league the day of the WNBA draft. Just look at the ratings for the WNBA draft. And then go look at all the ratings for the games right after that, even in her first preseason game. It was obviously she was going to be more popular than anyone else in the league, no matter how much it bothered everybody. And so the Caitlin Clark fans said she's the face of the league. And they say, no, you got to have A'ja Wilson got to be the face of the league because she's the best player and she's been in the league longer than Caitlin Clark, and she's black and Caitlin Clark's white, and we're jealous and our feelings are hurt. We got to have A'ja. No, that's not the way it works. Same thing in the NBA, Rob.
No, that's not the way it works. I mean, in any league, if you're the number one draft, there's a reason why you're number one draft, and then you're also the face for the league. At least they're going to be concentrating on you more and give you a little more attention. But they didn't do that with Caitlin Clark.
And then she went on to say, now I'm scrolling this down. I hope you can read it. Yeah, the WNBA is completely different with respect to media coverage. That's why I made sure to delineate NBA. That's not why she said that. She said that because she wanted 2 different rules for the NBA and the WNBA because she knew what she was doing in the WNBA. The same. Sometimes the media promotes players to be the face of the league because they like them or because the player's popular, which is all that happened with Caitlin Clark. The media was covering Caitlin Clark not to try to force her down the league's, people's throats. It's because that's what people wanted them to cover.
And Mark, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's how it wasn't. It transcended from college. She was popular in college. People knew her. She was a face of the women's basketball, and so of course it's going to move over to the WNBA.
I didn't like the fact that they're promoting Victor W as possible face of the league, and no one's saying he's the face of the league yet. Obviously, LeBron and Steph Curry are still the face of the league, and Jason Tatum's supposedly in the conversation. But I don't know about that. We'll see. He's not that popular. They also talked about Anthony Edwards, but he hasn't shown that he's one of the top 5 players in the league yet. He's exciting, but people are saying that, but who cares? It's going to happen organically. And why she didn't want to admit that about Caitlin Clark, which had happened organically, and she didn't like the fact that it happened organically, which is why she was always saying it was A'ja Wilson. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. There's a good quote here from Rosalina Lee. The reason I shy away from certain WNBA reporters, in quotes, is because I look at all sports as one of the last bridges in our society that brings people from all walks of life together to better understand one another. And it feels like there are agendas that hinder that progression. She's talking about Natalie Esquire and a few other people, Rob. That's why she put it in quote, because they're not real reporters. And then I made a comment to that as a great point. The opinions of any person in the sports media who is not objective is useless. Natalie Esquire is the perfect example. Mm-hmm. And basically what she's saying is that, this is in society, we want to get away from that kind of bias and prejudice in sports, and their hidden agendas, Rob, make it bad for following sports in WNBA. And that's what's happened. People have hidden agendas with Caitlin Clark, and that's bad for the WNBA, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. They were hidden, but they were right out in front of us, Mark. You could see what was happening right from the get go. right from the get go, they were hidden, but they weren't. You could see them. I mean, with the referees. I mean, starting out, the schedule. They said they didn't plan it that way, but the schedule, or the way that the teams they played, and during the year, things that were going on with her,
the assaults,
the social media. Getting and then coming at the fans of Caitlin Clark. It's like, come on.
Right. So I find all that interesting. Annie Constable, who's like everyone says is the number one reporter for the WNBA, she's the most credible reporter. She had this quote. She said, "I think it's because there are a lot of stans posing as reporters in the women's sports space." So basically, stans aren't people who aren't credible. They're not objective. And that's what she was saying. And she was obviously talking about Natalie Esquire and the like. And I thought that was a great quote that she had a while back. Shout out to Ken Swift, who has the best column about Caitlin Clark on X. It's the only reason I look at X. He's the only column I look at. And the only time I find out about other people's comments is when people bring attention to him. So he says, interesting. And then he has a quote. It's not his. Sky Stars Angel Reese and Camila Cardozo were the catalyst for a substantial jump in ticket sales in 2024. Remember that word, substantial? Remember those words, substantial and jump. According to Across the Timeline, the Sky's average home attendance jumped from 7,241 in 2023 to 8,757 in 2024. The Fever's average home attendance increased from 4,006 in 2023 to 7,035 in 2024. So if 1,500 for two new rookies, Rob, which included the two games that the Fever played in Chicago, right, which means they barely increased attendance at all, and Caitlin Clark increased it to 13,000. I'm at a loss for words. What I call something that's barely anything, a substantial jump. What do we call Caitlin Clark's 13,000?
Yeah, I mean, substantial. What do I mean by substantial? I don't know what their standard is. That's not substantial to me. I'm sorry.
I think it's hilarious. Substantial jump. 1,500 wasn't good. 2022 to 2023, the league did grow some, so it was expected to grow again. It was an uptick a little bit. So that growth is almost nothing. Angel Reese has a lot of social media fans, but they don't necessarily buy tickets or go to the games or watch her on TV. They do a little bit, but not nearly as much as Caitlin Clark fans, so she's not nearly as popular, and that's what people have to accept. And that's why when Angel Reese said, I want people to know it's about me too, it isn't. It's only a little bit about you. It's really still about Caitlin Clark. And we know that because 22 out of the 24 games that were over 1 million had to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was wow. And the other one, she was a lead into one of the games. So we know who's the face of the league is, and that's all there's.
Substantial jump. Yeah, we know. We just. I don't know. Yeah, they just. Hopefully this year, Mark, they will just forget all this and say just come right out. And what are they afraid of? If they come out and what is the harm of them coming out and saying Caitlin Clark is the face of the league?
Well, they don't think she earned it, but then we just determined from Natalie Esquire, it's organic. It's not it's not something you have to earn. If the fans like you, the fans like you. I don't know who's the face of the league of the NBA in a couple of years when Curry and LeBron go out, but someone's going to determine it. It's going to be the fans, and we'll see who it's going to be. Jokic has won 3 MVPs in the last 4 years, but he's not an exciting player. I find him interesting to watch because he's a great passer and everything like that. But other people don't see he's an exciting athletic player.
Right.
So he's not the face of the league. He doesn't care to be the face of the league. His personality doesn't really dictate that, even though he has a dry sense of humor.
Right.
So someone's going to determine it, and it's going to happen organically. About time Natalie Esquire realizes that, and why she doesn't apply to the WNBA, it shows you how dishonest she is, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it. All right, let us know what you think down below. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Be sure to share it with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, come on, you're making Rob upset. We're going for 6,000 subscribers, and we need your help. Hit that notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And join us for our brand new show. It's only our second show. It's called Caitlin Clark's Crossover. It's on Monday nights from 6 to 7 Eastern time, except for major holidays. It's during our live show, which is 6 to 8:30. And we have 3 other podcasters come on, and we talk about Caitlin Clark. So it's pretty cool. And if you haven't donated to the channel yet, you can with super chats and super things down below. And there's a link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.